Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Beyond. Some things have happened between episodes. We had a live stream, and we renovated this house to have it match the style of the rest of the village, which is good. This house doesn't actually have a purpose yet, but I'm thinking of maybe putting our wheat processing in there. I also did some work down here and overhauled this room, made it look good. So we have all of our storage drawers up here. We've got now 5 culinary generators, producing a grand total of about 250 to 300 RF per tick, something like that. And then we've got our refined storage system hiding over here. What I'd like to do in today's episode is I would like to build an extreme reactor. I've spent some major time gathering resources, doing some of the miney grindy stuff, so to speak, and preparing so that we can build a proper reactor, which will give us enough power to really kind of get going with setting up farms and eventually quarries and all that kind of good stuff. So, Extreme Reactors is a little bit weird in this pack. For those of you that don't know, Extreme Reactors is essentially big reactors from 1.7.10, just updated to 1.10.2. And in order to get into this mod, you need to make a bunch of reactor casings and some other stuff. Reactor casings, you need to make these reactor casing cores first, and they require gold. I don't remember them requiring gold in 1.7. I remember them requiring yellorium instead. So, I don't know, but whatever. So, we're gonna go ahead and make maybe even a stack of these, honestly. I think that would probably be best. And then we'll make a whole bunch of reactor casings, okay? Then we'll put that back, and let's make a few other things. So we're going to need a reactor controller. We're going to need a RF power tap. We're going to need... Let's see, I'm going to put it here, and I think we'll probably go, let's see, we're going to have a 7x7 reactor, which means 5x5 interior, which means we'll probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 control rods, I'm thinking. So, ooh, what am I missing there? Graphite? Yeah, graphite. Ah, I'm completely out. Okay, that's fine. We are making more of it right now, up in here. How much coal? Yeah, I've still got 3 stacks of those coming in, so that should be fine. Let's put you in here, and let's see. Can I make these now? I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yup. And then we're going to need a bunch of these, and these are also going to require graphite, and I'm going to need 15 of these? Yeah, 15, because I want a 3-high reactor. And I don't think I've got the graphite to do that right now. Graphite you get just by cooking coal, essentially. But while we're waiting on that, we can do a bunch of the other stuff for big reactors. So what I want to do is basically have it up against this wall, and we're going to essentially recess it into the ground a ways. But we're going to have a 1, 2, 3 block gap between this doorway and where the reactor starts. So it's going to come to about here. And we're going to have to fill in all of this. Okay? And then we're going to have to build up the walls to right here. So let's just kind of do what we can to get all of this put in, because the walls are going to be relatively big, and then we're going to need to do the ceiling and all sorts of, like, it's going to be a lot of graphite. But ultimately, this thing is going to give us a lot of power, especially once we get into properly cooling it with useful cooling things. So it should be good. Let's see, our floor level's going to be here. Ooh, that's... Yeah, so basically, our floor level will be there. And then we'll probably have controller, fuel source power tap, or something like that anyway. Let's grab some cobble real quick, just so we can fill these little bits right here in. Oh, actually, We may actually need a step here. Maybe? Well, no, because I'm okay with having the floor right there, I think. That should be all right. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's put a torch right there, just temporarily. Just so we can get some lighting in there. And then on top, we're going to go... let's see. We can make a ring all the way around. Like that. And then we're going to switch back and forth. And we'll basically have our control rods like that. And that will essentially be the whole reactor. The controller's going to go right here. We'll probably have a power tap here and an access port there, is what I'm thinking. Speaking of which, I need to make myself an access port, which apparently means that I need to make myself a piston. Let's go there. And actually, it wouldn't be bad to auto-eject stuff, but I think we'll worry about that later. Yeah. We'll worry about that at a later time. Okay, so this is basically the reactor. The only thing that I still need to do is put in the control rods. Let's see if I've got enough graphite yet. I should. I should have enough graphite to make these guys. And I need 15. Okay, cool. So now, we'll just kind of work our way down here. Let's get rid of this. And these give off light. Huh, I actually didn't know that. That's pretty cool. But there we go. That should basically be the reactor. And then once I do that, yep, there you go. You see, it went, and this is now a functional reactor. It's without fuel, but it is a functional reactor. So if we put into here a bunch of yellorium, it'll fill up. Now, this is not going to be a super efficient reactor right now because it doesn't have any sort of coolant in it whatsoever. And that makes a huge, huge difference as to how efficient and effective it is. However, the best coolant is gelid cryothium, which is this stuff right here. And I need cryothium dust, and that means I need blizz powder, and long story short, I can't make gelid cryothium right now. I also can't make the next best coolant, which is resonant ender, which is basically melted ender pearls, because I don't have an Enderman farm. So what we're wanting to do is get our reactor going, so we have a very powerful source of power generation, and then we're going to try and hook up an Enderman farm, like, pretty much right away. I'm also going to put a couple torches up here, and we're going to make this room look better. Don't worry, it's not going to look this bad. But that's essentially the plan. Now, I do want to just see how much RF per tick will this generate as is, without any coolant whatsoever. Let's activate the reactor. We'll let it heat up a little bit. We're up to 2,000, slowing down. I'm going to guess maybe... okay. So we're at roughly 2.73 RF per tick, give or take. Yeah, right around there, which is okay. That's not bad. For a basic reactor, once we fill this thing up with resonant ender, it's going to skyrocket and go way, way, way higher than that. And we can also make our reactor bigger too. But we need an Enderman farm in order to do that. So that leads us into the next thing that we're going to do. Let's not take a sleep real quick. I was going to say let's sleep, but let's not do that. What I want to make some solarium, and we actually don't need this graphite anymore. Solarium is gold and soul sand in an alloy smelter. Okay. And I'm not going to make it night because I need to get an Enderman soul in order for us to do this thing. And to do that, we're going to have to make a soul vial like this, which is fused quartz. How do I make fused quartz? Quartz in an alloy smelter. Okay, easy enough. We can do that. So let's get some solarium going. Man, that's processing so slow. That's really slow. That's okay, though. We'll get like 2 soul vials, I think. There we go. Let's get this going to make some fused quartz for ourselves so that we can actually create the soul vials. And then once that's done, then we'll go back to making solarium. Because each one of these recipes should give us, what was it? 3 fused quartz? And I think I need, yeah, so we'll let this recipe happen twice. That'll give us 6 fused quartz, and that should be sufficient. And hopefully we'll be able to actually, like, find an Enderman at some point, because they're pretty rare. Let me work on this for a little bit, guys. I'll be back with you in a sec. All right, guys, I am back, and I've got my first Enderman in my sights right here. Soul, please. Thank you. There we go. We got 1. Now, I'd like to get a second, at least a second one, but at least one, hopefully one will be enough. I'd like to have another one just in case I mess it up. So I'm going to keep looking, but once we find another Enderman, we should be able... Oh, did I just hear a... No, I guess not. Once we find another one, we should be able to make ourselves a powered Enderman spawner to get, like, all the Endermans, which is going to be very, very, very useful for us. So, the search continues. All right, guys, I am back, and we've got 2 Enderman soul vials, which is awesome. Now, I need to look at Ender IO, and we need to make ourselves a powered spawner, which looks kind of like this, okay? And to make that, we're ultimately going to need an Enderman spawner. And if I remember correctly, that's empty. Combined with a broken spawner in an anvil. Okay, so we got to make the powered spawner first. We're going to need a slice and splice to do that. So let's make a slice and splice. Here. Let's actually make a couple of these. There we go. We'll make a machine chassis. And then we'll make the... Wow, we're really low on some of this stuff. That's okay. What else do I still need? I don't have solarium? What? What do you mean I don't have solarium? Oh, maybe... Yeah. Just kidding. I'm still making my solarium. Right. Okay. Problem solved. Slice and splice, and... I'm pretty sure it has to be a full durability shears. I don't think I can just use a damaged one. So, try this one more time. There we go. Got it. Okay. And while I'm at it, well, I suppose we can wait on that. That's fine. Okay, so we've got our slice and splice. Let's just hook this thing up. For now, I'll just put it right there. Let this thing start powering up. It should be fine. And then I need to make a shears and an axe. And I'll just throw those in there. Okay? So then, next step... well, whatever. The next step is going to be, if we want to make our powered spawner, I need to make one of these Z-Logic controllers. So, let's see if we have everything for that. We need redstone. We need solarium. We need silicon. And we need a zombie head, which luckily I do have. So, let's do Z-Logic controller. There we go. That's going to start charging up. And I want my Tinker's tool back while I'm thinking about it. All right, so let's let that go. Then I'm also going to need... for the powered spawner, we also needed 2 vibrant crystals, which are alloy nuggets around an emerald. And I don't think I have, like, any emeralds at all. So, luckily for us, we are right in a village, and I can do some trading for emeralds, so we should be good. Let me get a little bit of like a villager thing set up here, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back. So I've done a little bit of villager trading. I got 4 emeralds now, and while I'm thinking about it, I want to make another little thing here. You can see we've got 60 levels on us right now. That's quite a lot. I would really like to make an experience obelisk so that we can store our levels in case we die, just because we have so many of them. I hate to lose 60 levels. That's a lot of levels. Let's see. We need one of those. We'll toss that in here. And bam, there we go. Experience obelisk. Super, super useful item to have. Let's just put that right here. And we can store all 60 of our levels in there and then grab them out as we need them. Okay, so this is going well. Now, let's make 2 of the vibrant alloy so that I can make the other things I need for the powered spawner. I'm also going to need an anvil. So let's grab those 3 and go anvil. There we go. We're going to need one of those so we can make the thing. And we'll just put that upstairs as well, I think. Maybe right here. And then I've actually got a couple broken spawners. But the other thing that I need to do is I need to change the broken spawner to be an Enderman spawner. And that's kind of important, okay? So what we can do is basically make a soul binder here, and that will allow us to change a regular broken spawner into an Enderman one. So let's go soul binder, and ooh, do I not have an Enderman head? Oh, that's not good. Oh, I'm not nearly as prepared as I thought I was. Okay, how do I make dark steel in this mod pack? Iron, coal dust, obsidian. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and make what's called the ender. Well, do I want to do that, or do I want to make a tinker's cleaver? I might be better off with the cleaver. Nah, let's do the ender. Let's do the ender. Okay. So, let me get some more work done. I need to get myself an Enderman head. I'm going to make this ender sword that we're talking about. I'm going to basically try and hunt down and kill Endermen until I have an Enderman head to make the soul binder with, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back, and after much mob killing and searching, I finally got the Enderman head that I needed, which means we now have the soul binder that we need, which is great because that means we can make our Enderman spawner. Yay, this is good. So, let's grab an Enderman soul, and then in here I have several broken spawners. I've got a skeleton, I've got a cave spider. I'm going to use the cave spider one because I feel like it's the least useful. And then we'll put that in here with this soul vial and give it 8 levels, and that will slowly turn into a broken Enderman spawner instead of a broken cave spider spawner, which is super awesome. Now, I also need to take this vibrant alloy right here, and I need to make, let's go powered. Here we go. I need to make a couple of these vibrant crystals, and then I should have everything I need to make the powered spawner almost, actually. A couple things I'm still missing. I'm going to have to make electrical steel, which, if I remember correctly, is iron, pulverized coal, and redstone, I think? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We'll find out in a minute. Let's go like that. Get that pulverized. There we go. So, oh, it's going directly into here. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. No? Is that not how you make... Okay, how do you make electrical steel? I have to look it up every time. Silicon, that's the other part. It's not redstone, it's silicon. Got it. Okay. So, let's grab 4 silicon. This thing should... Wow, that thing takes forever, but that's okay. And it's super loud, but that's all right. We'll get our electrical steel going. I'll make my powered spawner, and then we'll have the ability to spawn in all the Endermen, which is going to be amazing and really important. How are we doing on lapis? We're doing okay, because what I could do is I could put lapis on this sword. Nope, still going. The question is, where do I want to make this Enderman farm? I would kind of like to make it... Let's see, this is our power tap. I would almost like to dig it out, like, right down here. But I don't know if that's a good idea. Let me get this sorted out. Let me finish making the powered spawn... Oh, the power. The power drain is real, guys. My generators can't keep up. Oh no! Well, that's part of the reason that this is struggling. Let's make sure all these are full. Which they aren't. Oh, this could take me longer than I thought. Especially with my refined storage system offline. This thing will finish eventually, though. So it's okay. And this guy is also almost finished as well. So we'll be okay. Anyway, let me get some more work done. I'll come back with a progress update very shortly. All right, guys, I am back. I've got a little bit of an Enderman farm set up here. So let me show you kind of here what I've got as I struggle against the vector plates. Okay, there we go. So directly up there, that's my big reactor. I ran some enhanced energy conduits down. Here we have an inhibitor obelisk. This will prevent Endermen from being able to teleport when they take damage, or ever, for that matter. And then I've got my powered spawner here. All over the floor, I made these vector plates. These are from Dark Utilities, and they're basically like conveyor belts, so they'll kind of push you around and tell you where you gotta go, right? And the idea is the Endermen will spawn in this room. The vector plates will push them up against this wall where they'll get killed by these stone spikes, and then this vacuum chest will suck up all the drops and import them into my refined storage system. So that is basically the plan. All we need to do is activate this and activate this, and that should basically do it. Now, I'm going to need to turn on my reactor, because right now my reactor isn't even on. And obviously that would be problematic. So let's go activate reactor. There we go. And let's grab some Yellorium and throw that in here so that it can actually have power and fuel and all that kind of stuff. Now this thing is going through quite a lot of Yellorium. But you can see, and hear for that matter, the Endermen taking damage. They're getting killed. And the drops should end up in here. Those guys are so loud. Let's turn those guys down a little bit. They're just so loud. There we go. But anyway, that's basically how this farm works. And we should be getting ender pearls now. And I can just leave it running and let it do its thing. Yeah, we're at 23 ender pearls. Let's just see. Once the next batch dies, I should get... Yep, there was an ender pearl right there. So we're slowly getting more ender pearls, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to turn those ender pearls into resonant ender, which I can do by melting them. And one ender pearl will give me 1/4 of a bucket of resonant ender. I'm going to need a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, basically 20 buckets of resonant ender. So that means I'm going to need 80 ender pearls in order for this whole thing to work. So I'm going to let the farm run for a little while. I'm going to melt all those ender pearls down in the smeltery so that I have enough resident ender to fill up the reactor. And then once I've got the reactor filled, I'll come right back to you. Also, I should probably mention the current location of the Enderman farm, and in fact the design of the Enderman farm, is temporary. Once I have enough ender pearls and to make some dimensional transceivers, which will allow me to wirelessly transfer power and items, I'm going to move this Enderman farm and put it somewhere else where we can make it look a lot better and all that kind of stuff. But right now, just because I don't have wireless power transfer, I kind of need it to be right next to my reactor. But anyway, let me get back to work, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Alright guys, I am back, and with all the resident ender in place, this thing now generates about 7.3 to 7.4 thousand RF per tick. Now, I don't actually need that much. I really don't. And what I would need to do is I need to figure out exactly how much I do need to keep this guy going. So it says I need 1,600. That thing takes 20 up there. So I believe what I actually need is about 1,620. Obviously, I'm generating considerably more than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the insertion of this. And by doing this, that means it's going to be a lot more fuel efficient. If we change all those to 70, let's see where that puts us RF-wise. Without changing the insertion, we were running at about 0.8 millibuckets per tick after the installation. That's still higher than we need to go. And we can go shift, or we hold control and we can actually change it for all of them. So let's try changing them all to 80. And that seems to put us right about where we need to be, and using 0.2 millibuckets of fuel per tick, which means I'm going to be going through fuel much, much more slowly than before. So my Yellorium will last a lot longer, it'll keep that going, and we will have a steady supply of ender pearls, which is going to be really important for other things that we'll have to do. I also did go ahead and decorate the room. It really doesn't look like much, but it gives us access to the top and all that kind of stuff, so I think we're good. But I am most certainly out of time for this episode, my friends. So, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.